You think the story ended when Becky vanished? No, that was only the beginning. When Becky returned to her coven, her fellow spirits turned to her and asked just one question.
How could you fail in your assignment, Becky? Answer me!
Did you tell Bola the truth about who sent you? Because Becky wasn't sent by strangers, she was sent by someone Bola trusted with her life. And here is the shocking part most people don't know. This true story didn't start from the kingdom of darkness alone. Becky was planted in Bola's home by a familiar enemy. Remember, the Bible says, "A man's enemies are the members of his own household." Stay with me till the end to uncover the true genesis of this battle and find out who really wanted to destroy Bola's marriage, her home, and her destiny. After Becky vanished from Bola's house, she reappeared instantly in the middle of her coven. A dark hall filled with shadows, flickering flames, and faces that were not fully human. She fell to her knees, weakened by Bola's prayers. The spirits circled her slowly, their eyes burning with disappointment. One of them, their leader, leaned forward and asked coldly, "Did you tell Bola the truth about who sent you?" Becky shook her head silently. She knew that revealing the real sender would unleash something far more dangerous than Bola imagined. The coven murmured in anger. "You failed," one spirit hissed. "That woman's prayers were too strong. Your assignment was simple: destroy her home." Becky lowered her head. Her prayers built a wall of fire around the children, and every time I tried to touch her food, the poison jumped out on its own. The leader of the coven slammed a staff on the ground. We knew she prayed, but someone close to her gave us access. Someone who wanted her destroyed. Becky trembled. She remembered her first day at Bola's house, how someone had called her privately, promising riches if she completed her assignment. "Do you know why you were picked, Becky?" the leader asked. "Because the person who sent you knows Bola deeply. They know her strengths. They know her weaknesses. And they want her downfall." Becky swallowed hard. "She trusted me. She treated me well." Her voice cracked with guilt. "But I was sent to break her." Another spirit stepped forward. "Bola believes you came from the kingdom of darkness randomly. She doesn't know the battle started from her own household." Becky looked up, tears forming in her glowing red eyes. Should I return and finish the assignment or tell her the truth? The coven erupted in chaos, some shouting for revenge, others demanding silence. The leader raised a hand and the hall fell quiet. "You will not return yet," the leader said. "We must find the weak point in Bola's hedge. Her husband failed. You failed." Becky hesitated, her body shaking. She couldn't lie anymore. It was someone she loves, someone she trusts, someone she helps every day. A gasp echoed through the coven. "So the betrayal is deeper than we thought," the spirits murmured. Becky nodded slowly. "Yes, I was sent by someone very close to Bola. A person she would never suspect in 1,000 years." The leader's eyes narrowed. Becky whispered, "This whole attack started because of bitterness, envy, and a secret hatred hidden for years." The spirits roared in agreement. And far away in her home, Bola knelt at midnight, unaware that the very person plotting to destroy her destiny was someone she greeted with love every single day. As Bola prayed at midnight, tears fell from her eyes. She didn't know why her spirit suddenly felt heavy, like someone close to her was hiding a dangerous secret. At that exact moment, inside the coven, the leader turned to Becky. Becky closed her eyes, wrestling with the guilt. It was her sister, Scholola. The flames in the coven burst higher as the spirits roared. Her own blood? Her own sister? Becky nodded fearfully. Yes, Scholola has hated Bola since childhood. She hides it well, but her heart is full of envy. The leader demanded, "Why would her sister want to destroy her? Speak." Becky took a deep breath. Scholola is the older one, but Bola always had more favor. Growing up, people loved Bola. Teachers praised her. Even strangers preferred her. Another spirit hissed. So jealousy began early. Becky continued, but the worst part happened when their father wrote his will. Scholola expected to inherit the biggest share of the family estate as the first daughter. The leader leaned forward. And what happened? Becky swallowed hard. The father willed almost everything to Bola. Houses, lands, investments. Scholola was left with only a small company to manage. A wicked laugh echoed in the coven. So Bola's success was the seed of Schola's hatred. Becky whispered, yes. And Bola didn't even know her sister was hurting. Bola believed they were both blessed. But Scholola carried bitterness for years. Spirit flames danced around Becky as she explained, when Bola got married to Charles, Scholola became even more jealous. She wanted Charles to ask for her hand first. The spirits gasped. So she even wanted Bola's husband? Yes, Becky said. She felt Bola took everything. Childhood favor, inheritance, and now marriage. The leader nodded slowly. Becky bowed her head before the coven leader and said weakly, Scholola came to us, she joined us willingly. The entire coven burst into a cold, mocking laughter. The leader stepped forward, her feet not touching the ground, her eyes glowing like dying embers. She hissed. Correction. She raised one long, crooked finger at Becky. Scholola never came to us. Her voice echoed through the dark chamber. She came to you. Becky looked confused. But she worked with us. The leader cut her off sharply. We do not know Scholola. I have never seen her spirit. None of us have. She leaned closer, her face inches from Becky's trembling one. But since Scholola's actions helped our mission, we supported you. The other demons around her nodded and murmured in agreement. The leader continued. Understand something, Becky. Her voice dropped into a chilling whisper. Where envy and jealousy dwell, demons rejoice. A slow, sinister smile crept across her face. So if Scholola hates her own sister, if she burns with bitterness and competition, if she wishes to destroy what Bola has, she lifted her hands and the entire coven began to roar in excitement. Then Scholola is already one of us without ever entering our world. The chamber grew darker. As long as she continues doing the devil's work. She spread her arms wide. We will support her. The coven erupted. We do not need to know her, the leader finished. Her hatred is her covenant. Her jealousy is her initiation. Scholola's heart belongs to darkness already. She asked us to destroy everything Bola loves. Becky added she paid a high price. She sacrificed her relationship with God. She sacrificed her peace, just to watch Bola fall. The coven murmured darkly. Such deep envy from blood, from someone who eats with her, laughs with her, calls her sister. And at home, Bola turned to look at a framed family picture on her wall. She smiled gently at the image of Scholola, not knowing that the sister she trusted the most was the one who sent darkness into her home. The coven grew silent again, all eyes fixed on Becky. The leader asked coldly, now that you have failed your assignment, what leverage do we have left? How do we distract Bola? A slow smile crept across Becky's face, dark, twisted, and confident. You all forget. I didn't stay in that house for nothing. The spirits leaned closer. Speak, Becky. Becky lifted her head proudly. Her daughter, Amara. A ripple of murmurs moved through the coven. The baby, one spirit asked. The same baby you always carried? Becky nodded. Yes. Amara is only 6 months old, but she's always with me. Bola trusts me completely with her. The leader narrowed its eyes. And what does that mean? Becky laughed softly, an eerie, echoing sound that bounced around the dark chamber. It means I have already given her witchcraft. The spirits froze, shocked by her revelation. You gave the child a mark? One spirit whispered. Becky nodded again. More than a mark. I have tied her spirit to mine. Whenever I take her to sleep, I feed her spiritually. The leader stood abruptly. So the child is connected to the kingdom of darkness? Yes, Becky replied proudly. All we need to do is summon Amara's spirit to the coven. Once she appears here, she will do our work for us. The coven erupted in wicked excitement. A pure child turned into a weapon, one spirit hissed. Bola will never see it coming. Becky smirked. Exactly. She thinks her prayers protected her baby. She doesn't know that while she's at work, the baby is spiritually feeding from us through me. Far away in her house, little Amara suddenly woke up in her crib and let out a tiny cry, her eyes glowing faintly for a second before returning to normal. Bola, still at work, felt a strange shiver run down her spine, but didn't understand why. The next morning, Bola was preparing the children for school when her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and saw Scholola calling. She smiled weakly. She still loved her sister deeply. Bola, Sholola's voice came through sweet and calm. What are we giving Mummy tomorrow? Hope you remember it's her birthday. Bola froze. Shola, I totally forgot. Her voice was tired and shaky. Shola clicked her tongue. Bola, what is happening to you these days? You're not yourself. You forget things easily. Are you okay at all? Those words hit Bola straight in the heart. She sat down slowly on the couch, feeling the weight of everything she had been carrying. Bola's voice cracked. Sister Shola, I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. Why? What happened? Shola asked, but her tone wasn't concern. It was hidden satisfaction. Bola inhaled deeply, and the tears she had been holding back finally escaped. It's Becky. That girl made life hell for me. Shola widened her eyes on her end of the call. She didn't expect Bola to open up this much, but she quickly pretended to be alarmed. Becky? What did she do? Bola wiped her tears. Everything. She wasn't human. She was sent to destroy my home. Charles, sleeping with her behind my back. Shola pressed her lips together, so Bola wouldn't hear her evil smile. Jesus. Bola, why didn't you tell me all this? Bola shook her head. I didn't want to worry you. I didn't want to dump my problems on you. But Shola, I suffered. I carried the house, the children, and the company alone. Shola's heart danced with wicked joy, but she pretended to sniff like someone about to cry. My sister, you should have told me. I would have supported you. Bola nodded slowly. I know, but everything was happening at once. Even now, I still feel like something is not right. Shola closed her eyes and whispered gently, don't worry. Everything will be fine. But immediately she ended the call. She smirked, her eyes turning dark as she murmured, everything will be fine when we are done with you. No, Shola whispered slowly, a cold smile creeping onto her lips. Burning her company is too small. That won't break her. Bola is too strong for that. She stood up and began to pace around her living room, her wrapper dragging softly on the tiled floor. To truly destroy Bola, she murmured, I need to attack her where it will pain her the most, her child, or her mind. She stopped walking. A wicked idea flashed through her spirit like lightning. Yes, she breathed. If I can destabilize her mentally, if I can make her lose control of everything she is holding onto, she will crumble. Shola picked up her phone, not to call Bola again, but to open the secret contact she saved under the name Auntie D. It wasn't an auntie. It wasn't a friend. It was Becky's coven. Shola's voice dropped to a whisper as she spoke into the phone. Tell Becky, I'm ready for the second phase. She ended the call and sank back into her chair, her heart pounding with dark excitement. If it takes witchcraft to finish Bola, she hissed, then so be it. That night, while Bola struggled to sleep beside her recovering husband, far away in Shola's house a cold wind blew across the room. Shola's phone vibrated, a message from the coven. We are ready. Bring the child's name. Shola smiled. Amara, she typed with no hesitation, Bola's daughter. Use her. At the coven, Becky received the message, and her eyes glowed red. So the sister has given us permission, she said. The oldest spirit in the circle nodded. Amara has tasted your hand before. Summoning her spirit will be easy. Becky knelt, placed her palm on the cold ground, and whispered, Spirit of Amara, come forth. Back in Bola's house, little Amara, sleeping peacefully in her crib, suddenly shifted. Her tiny fingers curled. Her breathing changed. Her eyelids fluttered rapidly as if she were fighting something in her dreams. Then her lips parted, and she whispered a name no baby should know. Bola, who was on her way to check Amara, paused at the door. She heard it, the whisper. Her whole body froze. How does a 6-month-old baby call someone's name? She asked herself. Fear crawled up her spine like cold water running down her back. Amara's eyes suddenly opened, but the pupils were not normal. They were faintly glowing. She sat up, staring directly at the door where Bola stood. For a moment, Bola saw something behind her daughter's eyes, something ancient, something evil. Then Amara smiled, but it wasn't the innocent smile of a baby. It was the twisted smile of Becky. In that same moment, Becky's spirit in the coven jerked violently. She is resisting, one of the spirits shouted. Becky's hands trembled. Amara is stronger than we thought. Something is blocking me. The eldest spirit frowned. Someone must be praying for that child. Indeed, just a few streets away, Bola's mother was awake at midnight praying for all her children and grandchildren, calling each name one by one, including Amara. She felt a sudden sharp pain in her chest. She held her cross and prayed louder. Every evil hand stretched toward my grandchild. Catch fire. Back in the coven, flames burst from the ground. Becky screamed in pain. The spirits jumped back. What is this? Who is covering the child? Becky collapsed to her knees, panting. I can't hold her spirit anymore. There is an elder covering her. Far away, Scholola was growing impatient. She dialed the coven angrily. Why haven't you people started? She snapped. Becky's weak voice answered. Your niece, she is protected. We need a stronger sacrifice. Scholola clenched her teeth. What do you need? Silence. Then Becky whispered. We need something that belongs to Bola, something she touches every day. Scholola smiled wickedly as she paced around her sitting room. That won't be a problem, she muttered. I will get it for you. Her mind was already calculating every detail. I'll go to her house, pretend to spend 2 or 3 days, she continued. I'll give her a gift she will use every day, and when she's fully attached to it, I'll take it back and hand it over to you. In the coven, Becky's laughter echoed like broken metal. That is perfect, she said. Once Bola uses the object, her spiritual wall will weaken. It will open a door for us to enter her home again. Scholola nodded eagerly, even though they could not see her. I want her destroyed, Scholola said. Everything she owns, everything she loves. Becky's eyes glowed brighter. Good. But remember, the object must be something she will touch every single day. Something personal. Something she won't easily suspect. The head of the coven added, and make sure she receives it willingly. A gift taken by force loses its power. As dawn approached, Scholola began to pack her bags. She chose the perfect item, a beautiful golden bracelet blessed with dark incantations by the coven. Once Bola wore it, her spiritual strength would begin to drain drop by drop without her noticing. Scholola placed the bracelet in a velvet box and smiled to herself. This time, Bola, you won't escape. Later that morning, Scholola called Bola with a cheerful voice. Sis, I want to come and spend some days with you, she said sweetly. Bola, exhausted and emotionally drained, didn't think twice. Oh, Scholola, please come. I really need company, she replied. She had no idea she had just opened her doors to her greatest enemy. As Scholola drove to Bola's house, she rehearsed her plan again and again. I will act caring. I will act supportive. I will act loving, she whispered. Her only mission. Get that bracelet on Bola's wrist and get it back soaked in her energy. The moment Scholola arrived, Bola ran to hug her, relieved to finally have help. Scholola hugged her tightly, but her eyes were cold. Ah, you look stressed, Scholola said gently. Inside her heart, good. The weaker you are, the faster this will work. That evening, after dinner, Scholola presented the velvet box. Sis, I got you something. You've been a strong woman through everything. You deserve this. Bola smiled, touched. She opened the box and gasped at the beautiful golden bracelet. Ah, Scholola, this is so lovely. Scholola watched closely. Try it on, she said softly. Bola slipped it on her wrist. The moment it touched her skin, a faint shadow moved across the room. Only Scholola saw it. Bola felt a slight coldness, but ignored it. This feels nice, she said. Scholola smiled, satisfaction filling her eyes. Yes, she whispered under her breath. It feels very nice. That night, as Bola slept, the bracelet glowed faintly. A thin dark mist rose from it and wrapped around her wrist like a serpent. For the first time in months, her nightly prayer felt strangely difficult. She yawned, weak and drained, not knowing the battle for her life had just begun. Before Scholola left the house that morning, hundreds of miles away, Bola's mother, Mama Dupe, woke up with her heart pounding heavily. She had just seen a terrifying dream. Someone handed Bola a beautiful gift. But the moment Bola collected it, the gift transformed into a giant python and bit her hand violently. Mama Dupe screamed so loudly she woke herself up. Shaking, sweating, and confused, Mama Dupe knelt beside her bed and prayed. Father, reveal who is trying to harm my child, show me the face. But each time she tried to see, The person's face remained covered in thick darkness. She could only see the extended hand giving the gift, a hand she could not recognize. Without wasting a second, Mama Dupe grabbed her phone and dialed Bola's number. Bola, still feeling unusually weak from the night before, picked up slowly. "Mummy, good morning, Ma." Mama Dupe didn't even greet back. "Bola, listen to me carefully. If anybody at all, gives you a gift today, do not collect it. Do you hear me?" Bola was confused. "Gift? Mummy, why?" Mama Dupe swallowed hard. "I saw something in a dream. Someone gave you something, and it turned into a python and attacked you. Please, my daughter, don't collect anything from anyone today." Unknown to Mama Dupe, the python she saw in her dream wasn't symbolic. It was the exact spiritual form of the bracelet already on Bola's wrist. The moment Bola looked down and saw the bracelet Scholola gifted her last night, she smiled weakly. "Ah, Mummy, it's nothing. Scholola already gave me a beautiful bracelet yesterday. I'm wearing it." Mama Dupe froze. "Scholola gave you something? Even without me telling her anything?" Bola laughed softly. "Yes, now. Scholola gave me a golden bracelet. I'm even wearing it now. It's so beautiful." Mama Dupe's heart dropped. Her hands began to shake. She knew Scholola's jealousy. She knew her bitterness. She knew her hatred. "Bola," she whispered, voice trembling, "remove that bracelet immediately. Throw it away. I'm coming to your house today." But Bola didn't understand. "Mummy, calm down. Scholola is in my house right now. She has been so helpful. She even helped with the kids this morning." Scholola, who was passing by the room at that moment, overheard her name and smiled coldly, satisfied that the plan was working faster than expected. Mama Dupe insisted. "I said remove it. Please, Bola. Don't argue with me." But the moment Bola tried to unclasp the bracelet, her hand felt stiff. Her fingers suddenly felt weak, as if something invisible was holding her wrist tightly. She tried again. The bracelet felt glued to her skin, like it had melted into her flesh. A sharp sting shot through her arm, and she gasped. "Mummy, I can't remove it. The thing is, it's like it's stuck." On the other end, Mama Dupe began to cry. "Oh God, Bola has been captured." Bola's breathing became shallow as she stared at the bracelet that refused to come off her wrist. A cold shiver crawled down her spine. "Mummy, what is happening to me?" she whispered. Mama Dupe's voice dropped, heavy with a mixture of fear and anger. "Bola, listen to me very carefully. Do not step outside. Do not eat anything, and do not let anyone near your children." Bola swallowed hard. "Mummy, you're scaring me." "Why? What's going on?" There was a long silence on the phone. Then Mama Dupe exhaled shakily. "Bola, today, I will tell you who Scholola really is." Bola froze. "What do you mean, Mummy?" "Scholola is my sister." Mama Dupe's voice cracked. "No, Scholola stopped being your sister a long time ago." Bola felt her heart pounding. "Mummy, what are you saying?" Mama Dupe whispered. "There is something I should have told you years ago. Something your father hid before he died. Something about Scholola's birth and the covenant tied to her." Bola's eyes widened in shock. "Mummy, what are you talking about?" Before Mama Dupe could finish her sentence, the call cut off. The lights in Bola's living room flickered violently. Baby Amara, sleeping peacefully in her cot, suddenly started crying uncontrollably. The bracelet on Bola's wrist glowed faintly like a serpent waking up. And from the corridor, a shadow slowly approached Bola's door. Bola whispered to herself, trembling, "Who is Scholola really? What does Mummy mean when she says, Scholola stopped being your sister a long time ago?" Her heart was pounding. "Mummy, what are you saying?" Mama Dupe's voice was low and filled with fear. "There is something I should have told you years ago. Something your father hid before he died. Something about Scholola's birth and the covenant tied to her." Watch part 3 to uncover the shocking truth behind Scholola, the dark covenant, and what it means for Bola and her family.